Yo, what is going on guys? I hope you guys are having a great day. So in this video, I will be talking about 5 things noobs do in Clash Royale. First, I would just like to say that I'm not criticizing anyone who makes any of these mistakes, as for a matter of fact, I've done many of these myself. So let's get on to the list. Also, all the things on this list are not in any order, so just keep that in mind. So let's go. The number one thing that I see people do in lower arenas with my new mini account is using direct damage cards against the arena towers. This gets even worse when they use it against the king tower. I am also guilty of doing this when I first started the game. I'm pretty sure you already know that by doing this, you'll activate the king tower and it will start shooting as well. But I would like to point out that it is a good idea to use these direct damage cards when you can take it out or bring it down to very little HP, or when you can get good value out of it, like hitting barbarians and the tower at the same time, or using it when there are many troops within the radius to maximize the value you get out of it. But you definitely know if your opponent's a noob if they only use it against your towers repeatedly. Another awesome, newbie play I see down in lower arenas is terrible placement of defense structures. Now I don't expect people to know straight away where the kill zone is, and where in the kill zone they should play their building depending on the type of push the opponent is doing, but the placement is slightly questionable. When I watch lower arena TV Royale replays, I see people trying to protect their defense buildings instead of their towers, by placing it behind or in between their arena towers. This defeats the point of having a defensive structure in your deck, as it does not defend and allows your arena towers to take damage. I also see people playing their buildings right next to the river, meaning that it can be easily taken out from the opponent's side. Another variation of this newbie play I see is playing their buildings right in front of their towers. This means that only one tower will be able to shoot their opponent's troops, and the opponent's troops will have to travel less, therefore there's less time for your towers to take it out. So when they finally reach your tower, they will have more HP left and will do more damage to you. The next thing on this list I was sort of guilty of myself, and that is thinking that epic cards were better than any other card as it is labeled as epic. You know, which sounds a lot better than common or rare. As they are harder to get, I thought just by playing this card, I would be able to do massive amounts of damage, but how wrong I was. For an example, I thought the prince would be able to take out a tower on its own, but it turned out it could be countered very easily by most cards, if it wasn't backed up with proper support. I also thought that using cheap cards was just a waste of valuable deck space and could do no damage to both troops or towers. So my deck consisted of like 6 epics and 2 rares that were all very elixir heavy, and worst of all, it made me a noob. This is not only for people who have just started the game. I see level 8s and 9s in lower arenas who have mostly epics in their deck. So if you want to progress well in the game, it might be a good idea to stop differentiating your cards based on their rarity, but how it fits into your playstyle and having a variety of cards. If you look at some players in Legendary Arena, you can see that they only have 1, at most 2 epics in their deck. I mean, look at this person. He has a level 8, which is extremely over-leveled for a player in Arena 4. He has a deck with 1 Legendary, the Lava Hound, 5 epics, and 2 rares, with no common cards whatsoever, and with a very elixir-heavy deck, with an elixir average of 4.9. This probably explains why he's in such a low arena for his level. All of his cards are very expensive, which makes it quite hard for him to counter his opponent's pushes. He has 5 epic cards that don't really complement each other well, and can't do much on their own without support from other cards. Another newbie play that just makes me cringe is seeing people completely ignore their opponent's push, or using a troop that does very little damage against high HP troops such as a giant. I don't know what is going through these players' heads, but if your opponent has a push with a giant, witch, and knight on one side, instead of using all your elixir on the other side, it might be a good idea to stop that push. You see this very often in lower arenas. People just seem to ignore troops, even a troop such as a prince, which can do devastating damage when left alone on a tower. To finish this list off, I would like to point out how direct damage cards are used badly by noobs in this game. The arrows are a common card which costs 3 elixir, does 152 area damage, and 61 crown tower damage at level 4, which is around the level of common cards these players have. As you can tell, the arrows don't do much damage, and are much better at taking out hordes or smaller troops. But I see many people using arrows at a troop such as a giant or prince, and unless these high HP troops have little HP remaining, there's almost no point of using arrows in this situation. Instead, they should wait until a lot of small HP troops are played such as goblins, minions, or skeletons. I think many of these players actually panic when they have little elixir, and they just throw arrows down instead of waiting until they have enough elixir to play a troop that can actually do something against high HP troops. Them often wasting elixir on the arrows causes them to lose the tower, as they don't have enough elixir to finish off the opponent's push. Now, I'm not saying that these people are bad and should quit playing and have a shot of bleach, but I'm just pointing out that these are some of the things people who are inexperienced at the game do. As I have said, I've done many of these things as well when I first started at the game. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like rating on this video as it helps out a lot. And if you want to see more content like this, please subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Peace out.